morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending where you are chiming in our big, beautiful world. How's everybody? What is going on, LCAO? Let's get this party started, right? Let's get this party started quickly, right? How many of you know what that's from? Anybody? I'm probably dating my age here. None of you would know what that is. Never mind. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It is day 2. Day 2 today for our LCAO book club. We're taking a walk through Coach, the A.L. Williams story. How many of you got something from yesterday? I know you're muted. Just show of hands, just wave at me. Okay. All right. Cool. Let's get right into it today and waste no time at all. We just kind of whet the appetite a little bit that Mr. Williams is it's on a bit of a mission. And today we're going to start with the prologue, and then we're going to jump right into the book. Everybody good? Can I get thumbs up? We're ready to go? Green light, clear for takeoff? Yes, and yes? All right, here we go. Prologue. March 9th, 1990, opening night of the A.L. Williams Convention. 40,000 leaders and managers from all over North America packed the seats of the New Orleans Superdome. Stomps, cheers, and chants rattle the rafters. A short, stocky, balding man in a black tuxedo steps to the podium. He shouts into the microphone, "You know what? What?" The audience roars. "This is mind-boggling." Cheers and applause explode from the crowd. The man grips the podium with the same fierce intensity he brings to his work. Every now and then, if you're lucky, you get to do something really special. Tonight, you are participating in an event that is monumental, historic. People ask me all the time, did you ever dream A.L. Williams would become the magnificent success it is today? No way. I think back to 1977, to those 85 scared but proud people who started this company. There was no reason to suspect we would survive, much less become a great American success story. The number one company in our industry, the largest industry in the world. The man pauses. He looks hard at the crowd. I believe the difference between winning and losing is this much. To win, you have to do what's right. Tell the truth. Be positive. Never give up. Life will give you what you're willing to fight for. This company was built for you to win. Are you willing to fight to make that happen? This speech ends with thunderous applause. In years to come, this night will shine a pinnacle for A.L. Williams, the 13-year-old company that changed an industry and a million lives. For Art Williams, it marks the beginning and the end of an era. When I read this, it's not just words on a page. Some of you know. Let me just shut this off here. I can hear something. All right, there we go. I just want to make sure that is there. And I'm getting a feedback here. Hang on one second. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Much better. Yeah, it's not just words on a page for me. For those of you that don't know, I worked with this company, not A.L. Williams, the company that they became. They sold. You'll get into that in the story. I don't want to do a spoiler alert. But the company that I worked for wasn't this company. And as we go through this, I can't wait to get to where it changed. Because the company I worked for, I know, I gotta be careful what I say here. The company I worked for was not A.L. Williams. Although I wish I had, I'd probably still be there. That's all I'll say about that. Let's jump right into this. Part 1, the early years. I love this. Listen to this. This is for my friends in Alberta, Canada here. Part 1, the early years. A cowboy must never shoot first, hit a smaller man, or take unfair advantage. He must never go back on his word or a trust confided in him. He must always tell the truth. He must be gentle with children, the elderly, and animals. He must be free from radical and religious prejudices. He must help people in distress. He must be a good worker. He must keep himself clean in thought, speech, action, and personal habits. He must respect women, parents, and his nation's laws. The cowboy is a patriot. That's by Gene Autry's The Cowboy Code. Just love it. Let's get into this. Chapter 1. Cairo, U.S.A. Some people grow up, move away, and forget all about where they come from. They become different people in different places. Not me. I've traveled all over the world, but I'm pretty much the same Art Williams who grew up in Cairo, Georgia. From the very beginning, my small town southern roots define me. Without them, I doubt my life would have turned out the way it has. My childhood years came at an extraordinary time in American history, a golden era that no longer exists. I was blessed to be part of an extraordinary family full of strong people who loved me and believed in me. I lived in a community totally dedicated to helping its young people grow up and become good, solid citizens. I played with champion athletes and worked for world-class coaches. I wasn't a brain or the greatest athlete, yet somehow I was given remarkable opportunities to excel in both school and sports every day of my youth. Special people loved and encouraged me, taught me how to work hard and do right. All that positive influence pointed me in one direction. More than anything, I wanted to grow up and be a high school football coach, just like my daddy and just like my coach. The original Mayberry. On April 26, 1942, I was born in Waycross, Georgia, and named Arthur Lynch Williams, Jr., after my father. When I was 2, we moved 125 miles southwest to the town of Cairo, miles north of Tallahassee, Florida. That's where my 2 brothers, Bill and Don, were born. Grady County, blessed with rich soil and good weather, back then was one of Georgia's most productive farming areas. In addition to prize-winning livestock, local farmers grew cucumbers on the lush rolling farmland. Let me take that back. Grady County, blessed with rich soil and good weather back then, was one of Georgia's most productive farming areas. In addition to prize-winning livestock, local farmers grew thousands of acres of commercial crops, corn, sorghum, peanuts, sugarcane, and cucumbers on the lush rolling farmland. The whole county called itself the nation's okra capital. Cairo sat in the middle of all that, and the heart of its industry came from the W.B. Roddenberry Company, a business started by a local man, Dr. Seaborn Anderson Roddenberry. He put Cairo on the map. When he opened a general store and started selling his homemade cane syrup out of cypress barrels in 1862, by 1889, he was selling it under his own Roddenberry label. By the time the high school opened in 1910, syrup production was such a vital part of the community's economy that the athletic teams proudly called themselves the Cairo High School Syrup Makers and Syrup Maids. In 1944, when we moved to Cairo, we found a thriving middle-class community with all the perks a small southern town could offer. Television didn't exist then, but Andy Griffith could have modeled his Mayberry show after Cairo. Neat, clean neighborhoods, a busy downtown with a big brick courthouse, department stores and sidewalks, a train depot, fire and police stations, a movie theater, 2 elementary schools, a middle school, a high school, a hospital, lots of playing fields, a swimming pool, and a recreation department. We lived in a real apple pie slice of Americana. The best life. In Cairo, many citizens had lived through the Depression and World War II, and they knew what it was like to do without. Yet those hardships somehow united them. They worked to give their children the best life possible. People went out of their way to be friendly. As kids, we played outside all over town until after dark. By the time I got to first grade, Mother would give me money and let me walk the mile into town by myself to get a haircut. Safety. Somebody's mama or daddy was always looking out the window, making sure we were okay. As kids, we provided the entertainment. The whole town kept a calendar brimming with Sunday school parties. Boy Scouts and Bible Club at school. Cairo was a sports factory in those years too, and Cairo people supported the teams like you couldn't believe. Our recreation department offered a year-round sports program from age 6 and up, with football, baseball, basketball, track, and swimming. Our midget baseball and football teams played in tournaments all over South Georgia. Wherever a Cairo team played, you could always find a loyal fan club cheering them on. The whole town literally closed down on Friday nights. So everyone, and I do mean everyone, could go to the high school football games. Small town rules. I have so many good memories of Cairo. Saturday afternoon matinees, homemade ice cream after church, fireworks on Christmas Eve, Sunday drives in Daddy's new car. What a special time and place. Kids heard the same message everywhere we went. School, church, community, and of course at home, with no confusion about expectations. If you wanted something, you had to work for it. You didn't lie, steal, or cheat. You didn't drink or do drugs, and if you did, heaven help you, your parents would know before you made it through the front door. If you got married, you stayed married. You took care of your family, went to church, worked hard at your job. The entire Cairo community was built on the strong values of strong people, determined to pass that moral code on to their children. Nobody more so than 2 of the strongest people I've ever known. My parents. We'll put a stop in it right there until tomorrow. But I just want you to think about your upbringing for a second. Now, good, bad, or indifferent, we all have a story, got that. But maybe not just your upbringing, but just at the time you read this, listen to this, hear this, I want you to think about society in comparison to what I just read. See, I don't know about you, but I had a great childhood. Sports, church, family Sunday dinners. Like when I'm doing coaching and I hear some of the things people went through and grew up, it's hard for me to relate. I didn't have any of that. I mean, my heart goes out to them. The stories that I get to hear on a day in, day out basis. There's some pretty tough people in this world that walk around with scars that they don't speak about. In a world that is often got people complaining about things that, not to compare, but they wouldn't trade what their challenges are or what they went through with what some other people are going through or have gone through that aren't complaining. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it isn't about a contest about who had a harder life, but perspective. What's that word? Perspective. Perspective is reality. It's an interesting thing. My dad used to say, I once felt bad that I had no shoes until I met a man that had no feet. And as we go through this journey of Coach, the A.L. Williams story, I want you to think about what your mission is, what your purpose is in life. Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you do what you do? Simon Sinek says, start with why. There's a lot of people starting businesses, or so they say. They don't even know why, other than money. That won't work. What it takes to become successful in business and in the world today, what you have to go through, you wouldn't do it for money. You'd quit. It's got to be bigger. And as we get through this, because I know the story, my hope is that it inspires you to find your why, find your purpose, find your get up and go for whatever it is that you want to do, that you find within you, because it's in all of us, the fire that gets you moving in the morning, where you become unstoppable. So tomorrow, we will continue right where we left off with Coach, the A.L. Williams story. How a no-name company, no name, led by a high school football coach, revolutionized. Today we say disruption. Revolutionized the life insurance industry. My name's Roderick H. Norville, Full Circle Podcast. What's your story? This is LCAO Book Club. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.